Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even beloved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, Eminence. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great gifts like t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, and hoodies. And check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com. And also check out great books like Mia Molson-Zia's Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, and more. Also subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, as well as PayPal and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. He's back by popular demand, and he's had some music out, and he's been on my show a couple of times, and he's back with brand new music, a brand new CD, and a lot of things he's been up to. And of course, traveling from New Jersey to Florida. And he also, auditioned in a very popular show, and also The Loss of a Hero. We'll talk more about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios somewhere in beautiful Florida. Or is that New York, or is that in between? Well, ladies and gentlemen, either way, the ever-present, and by the way, a happy birthday, Christmas Day to Micky Gallina. Micky, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us, and happy 50th birthday, by the way, coming up Christmas.
Thank you very much. Yes, my birthday is Christmas Day, and I'm going to be turning the big 50. So it's coming up fast.
Make sure you give them some gifts, okay? 50-something. Guys, give them gifts, okay? It's got to be 50. So
it's been a very mysterious adventure for me since I left Jersey to come to Florida. I've been in several towns and finally have landed where I can reveal that I'm now living in beautiful Spring Hill, Florida, with my lovely lady, Diane, and just got him on the 3rd of December. My son, my dog, my little boy, he's a big guy. He's 8 months, almost 9, as of December 29th, 4 days after mine.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be 9 months old, and his name is Shadow. And I'm very, very happy with them both. I love them both. I'm very glad they're in my life. So I have a little family that I'm spending, that we've come together this year, because from the years of past, a lot of the times we're alone in a motel or a bar, singing and performing for people I don't know, which usually that's what musicians do. We perform for people we don't know when we meet them. And so with everything that's been done, I mean, this has really been more of a family united Christmas with an old friend of mine that I've known since 2008. We just started going together 6 months yesterday. We've been dating. Yes, 6 months yesterday. And we've been going together now for 6 months, and we got a dog, which as I said, we brought Shadow home on the 3rd of December. And if anyone doesn't know the day of December 3rd, well, it's the day of my dearly departed grandfather and one of the greatest musicians in the world, Ozzy Osbourne, who just had a birthday December 3rd.
Nice.
So a big happy birthday to Ozzy Osbourne.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday.
Yes. And so speaking of all of that, of my little family unit, I've been living pretty well here in Spring Hill. Things are starting to look up. And I'm very thankful for all of your support, you as well, my good friend Mike, and everybody out there who helped me through my adventure. And I'm very glad that, I finally am starting to get back in the human living life again. My new CD, Reflections, is dropping in spring. I'm not giving the official date yet because I don't want to say, hey, it's happening this date and then it falls on another day. That all really depends because when you get it up with the company and stuff like that, the thing with the company, it's like, when you send it to the CD manufactured company, I could say April 18th and it doesn't fall until May. So
Hmm.
I don't want to give a date until I have them in possession to say, okay, here's my post, here's my promotion, they're dropping today. Because my producer, Rick Ryle of the Grip Read, says, Mickey, don't give any sufficient dates yet because you got to have it in hand before you make the drop. And that makes a lot of sense to me because I've been anxious and excited about finishing it. And I finally did the complete. I mean, because I could tell you a little story about how I did this. I was running out of finances. I had to do whatever I could. I was dealing with Atlantic City. I made a couple of jackpots. I hit some bonuses. And then all of a sudden, they gave me the second to the highest card. So with the free plays, every free play that I would hit and make any kind of finance to where I could call up my producer and say, hey, I just made the money tonight. Sometimes I had to sleep in my car. This is what
Wow.
musicians would do sometimes for even acting and for theater and for music. I had to sleep in my car. I had to go and hit. And if I lost that day, I slept in my car. If I won that day, I went home, did my recording session, paid it off, came back. And this is what it's like, with the artistry and the struggling. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And sometimes you can only live on water, depending on what you can make. And this is what I went through. And amazingly, I thank God that I'm alive and I'm been going. So anyway, so speaking of the album, Reflections is going to drop in spring of 2022. I spoke about my close knit family life. Then the other topic is, which is really dear to my heart. Um, as you can see, I'm wearing the shirt, which is the First National Band, which is actually the second, really, because when Michael Nesmith came back, he came back with his son. He had Cersei Link, Christian Nesmith with him, and so many others coming together. And I met and I had seen all of them playing in September 20th, 2018. And that's when I got the shirt. And then when I got the news, my co-writer on a song that I wrote for the new album, which is coming, and this track will be played. The name of the song is called Beautiful Liar,
Hmm.
which I had sent to you. And this is probably the early demo track, and you'll get to hear all the uh, real tracks when you purchase the album. This is kind of like how it got started.
Hmm.
Um, so like, we have little tricks up our sleeves and stuff like that, but we want you to kind of get a taste of it. So if you like it and you want it, well, it'll be ready for purchasing in spring. So Wanda, as I was speaking of, her name is Wanda Carter Burnsworth. She contacted me as I was coming out of a store. I was doing some shopping because my girlfriend's sick with bronchitis pneumonia and buying things that need to be done. And I'm coming out. And literally, when I was coming out and I got in the car and I got the phone call, she told me Michael Nesmith had passed away. I mean, I just saw him in October. And I'm like,
Oh, isn't that something? Yeah.
yeah, it blew my mind because he was here in Florida with Mickey and the other band members, and they were plugging away at Ruth Eckerd Hall here in Clearwater. And first time my girlfriend Diane ever got to see the concert, and we were like, third row seats. It was like the best, really the best seats I've ever gotten at a Monkees concert, and I landed it on the day that the tickets were available.
Wow.
So I jumped on it very fast. And I remember I'm looking through and hello to this friend and hello to this friend and checking your post and checking everybody. And then all of a sudden I see this thing in the news feed saying Monkees are playing at Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Huh.
Boom, got it.
And,
So I
and
got
isn't
and I
that
got
something?
dinner. Yeah, and I got dinner, and we got the show and the dinner. It was really extravagant. It was really good. It was delicious. I mean, I even actually enjoyed eating the fish, and I'm not much of a fish person. I'll catch it, but I don't like eating it. It's like throw it back. It's a baby. Throw it back.
Yeah, really.
You know, it's like it reminds me of like if you remember like Moby Dick or some of the other fishes, or like it's like one time when I was a kid and I was given a hamburger and I didn't know what I was eating. My stepfather gave this to me. And when he told me it was deer meat, I'm like, oh no, I just ate Bambi. Oh no, I just ate that to the nose
Ah.
reindeer. They'll never fly again, you know?
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, oh my God. But anyway, to draw back to Michael Nesmith, the Monkees, Micky Dolenz, Peter Tork, and Davy Jones have really been a great inspiration to me. And this is why a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of others like Mark Dawson, the Gripweeds, Rick Ryle, and Kurt Ryle, all of them, these guys really inspired me to be the musician I am in a lot of ways. I mean, I had a lot of credit in it on myself, but a lot of them really inspired me. And I thought about calling the album Inspirations, but I decided I want to go with reflection because I'm reflecting back to the experience of when I was a little boy and I was loving the music and was a big Monkees fan, always was. I even had the pleasures to sing Daydream Believer with Davy Jones in 1993.
Oh wow.
Yes, I did. I got to do that. And before I didn't, I want to get this in too. I'm auditioning again for the second time for America's Got Talent.
Oh, we were just gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
we want to get to that in a second, but I gave you a little drop. Oop, I just dropped that one. Okay, but as far as it comes with Michael Nesmith, he was such an inspiration to me, and his writing, his potential, his ability. I mean, he created country rock. He really technically was the early pioneer of country rock.
Right,
Uh,
yeah.
all right, now granted, I look good in a cowboy hat. I look good in boots and stuff, but I never really grasped the whole thing with the country thing as much as the pop and rock and roll and rhythm and blues and folk, because Dylan was an inspiration to me with folk music, and as Peter Tork was, and then with the music when it comes to uh, the Broadway tunes and the shows. Davy Jones got that on me. The pop and the rock and roll. Mickey inspired me, Micky Dolenz, and so many others. Like I even was inspired by Tiffany. Now we're only a few months old apart from each other. She's October 2nd, 1971. I'm December 25th, 1971. And I remember when I was in Atlantic City, I went into Harrah's and I was sitting in her dressing room. I was the last one to come in. And I mean, she kept me in there for an hour, and it was just amazing just to be in her presence. And she was such an, because you know how like, girls go crazy for the guy entertainers and all that. Well,
Mhm.
if there was a woman entertainer out there that really struck my fancy and made my heart go pitter patter, as my girlfriend still makes my heart pitter patter, because I want her to know that she's the one. But Tiffany, I wish you took me 10 years ago. But anyway, she's going to hear this later. So I just want you to know, Diane, I love you. And I really do care for you. Boom. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. She is a celebrity, and you and I are real people. Okay. Anyways, I feel like Rodney Dangerfield going on right now.
Eh,
But seriously, all right, enough of the comedy, whatever. Okay. But anyway, so she was an inspiration to me, point blank. Okay. Kidding, no, not kidding around with that, but seriously. But anyway, so going back to Nez, when I heard about his, passing, it really made me sad. It was, I'd had little time to really grieve because, I was, taking care of my girlfriend Diane. I had to make sure that my dog was okay. I had to take care of things that I needed and all that. So then I really got to the moment and I sat back and I thought to myself, okay, it really hit me hard because I got on the guitar. It was that night, December 10th, and I'm standing out. There's a video of me sitting actually outside, and there's a blue light on my face. Well, what happened in front of my house was a two-car collision.
Wow.
That was cops and lights and everything going on. So I think it was a great strobe effect, but it really was an accident that was happening. So, I mean, the lighting had nothing to do with me. I didn't create that lighting, and it's very sad to say. But I ran out to try to help those people, and as I would normally do, I do a lot of things to help a lot of people, and I'm very appreciative when people turn around and want to help me. But I try to, because even though it's a season for giving, but I don't like to really take. I like to give, and there was
Hmm.
times when I could always give, and I want to see people happy because I always say to myself, the man upstairs is going to get me, and he's going to be all right with me because I want to do the right thing for everyone and my fellow brothers and sisters, and that's the kind of man I am.
Hmm.
But I'm very thankful when I'm in hardship how you all came to save me back in 2019, and that really meant a lot to me. And because I had went through a horrible 2020, um, I had to say goodbye to a very dear close friend who died of COVID. Her name was Joan. I had lost her 4 days after my birthday, and that was a very troubling time. But uh, to keep it a little more uplifted, and I know that it's sad, but I don't want to make you sad. I want to give you some happiness to share.
Right.
But when it comes to Michael Nesmith, he truly was an inspiration to me, and he really helped me to be the musician I am.
Hmm.
God willing as well, and so forth. I'm just truly honored to be a part of these great presents that were before me and still around when I was around.
Hmm.
And so I say to the family, to the Nesmith family, I give you my heart, my blessings, and thank you so much for letting me be a part of the family and Monkey Saga and being able to be there through the times of your dad, Michael Nesmith, who created the country rock and just everything that he did. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that
Hmm.
and to make me feel welcome and even to be connected in media and in person. It just made me feel really good because I'll tell you, even Christian Nesmith, I used to do Skype with him years ago, and he would show me some things on the guitar that I didn't know. Wayne Avers taught me how to play I'm Not Your Stepping Stone. And I remember a confrontation with an old friend of mine, David Catalano, as he likes to be called, Guitar David Catalano, where he and I were in a Monkeys jam where we were playing for the fans. Christian Nesmith was there, Cersei, so many others. The Gripweeds were there. My producer, Rick Ryle, was there. Just so many people. We all came together, and it was just great right out there in New Jersey. And we played for the people on June 4th and 5th of 2016. It was a great time.
Hmm. That.
And so and to speak about that, so they were truly all great inspirations, and Christian Nesmith and Rick Ryle and Kurt and all. I mean, they're monster musicians. They're amazing. They really are, and they're a great inspiration. And speaking of the album, I can drop some of the names as I like to go into. Rick Ryle, Kurt Ryle of the Gripweeds, who is my co-producer and also lead guitar player, and he also played some drums. I did a lot of rhythm guitar and all that, just to give you a little drop on that. We had Billy Sullivan and Rich Spina also join me and Rick through via email, where we had them play on two separate songs. And John Billings from the Monkees, and also he played with Donna Summers too,
Wow.
also came to do a via email play. And Mark Dawson wrote with me and Rick from the first song to the last song. And then a lot of people didn't know it, but during my solo recordings, I came up with a band called New Visions.
Oh
Uh,
yes. Who
yes,
wouldn't forget that? Yes, that's right.
the members were myself, the creator, Carl Lights, who Carl Lights actually got his first experience with me as being co-writers on a song that you're going to hear when you buy the album. It's called Never a Dull Moment. And Mike, my good friend and host of the Mike Wagner Show, knows when you talk to Mickey and you hang out with Micky Gallina, it's never a dull moment. Any more than it's never a dull moment with Mr. Mike Wagner too, because
Ain't
if
that
you're
the
on the
truth?
show, it's never a bore. It's always the high score and a great moment, and great times to spend when you're on the Mike Wagner show, or if you're hanging out with me.
You know something too? I was going to go back to Michael Nesmith for just a bit, and all I
Yeah, we
read
could do
about
that. We'll go
him,
back to that.
not
Yes, let's
not
go
just
back
a
to
thing about what country rock, and he had an amazing career. You know,
well,
have
he
his
had
own
a
production
number of
company, and I think what was it? Elephant
Pacific
Parts won a
Arts.
Grammy. And here's the thing, which I found is that he
Yeah,
had his own video channel, which later MTV proceeded to
MTV
take it
recreated.
further.
That's
Yes,
right.
he was the first
That's
to have his
right.
own music channel with
Well, you
music
see,
videos.
it's a shame because he was such the big timer of the creating, and a lot of people don't know this too. But Michael Nesmith did have the creating with Lionel Richie and directing with Dancing on the Ceiling, Lionel Richie's song. Okay, that is true fact. Then also he worked with Michael Jackson. Okay, he
Hmm.
did also work with Michael Jackson. I'm thinking it was The Way You Make Me Feel. It could have been either that, The Way You Make Me Feel. It could have been there's a few other songs. I mean, I'm sure it's in the genre, but I know he worked with Michael Jackson. But with Lionel Richie, I'm dead on with it. I know he was with the directing on Dancing in the Ceiling.
Hmm.
So that was the Lionel Richie song of that he created back in the 80s, 90s, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
But
90
anyway,
something. That's right.
90s, yes, yes. So, and then he also had a lot to do with Pacific Arts and Elephant Parts and how he was with the suing of PBS and he won.
Yes,
Um,
that's right. That's been a big
yes, he
one
did.
too. And of course, I remember talking about PBS. Mr. Rogers went up against PBS, and they said that it was a waste and everything. He said it was actually a good thing he fought for it and he won. So it's like you can pretty much either support PBS or take down
Well, you
PBS.
know
And
what?
I read, I'm
I
like,
mean,
wow,
you
that's
know what?
amazing.
And also, let me share with the people here and with our friends that will be listening and watching. You know what? Let me tell you something, okay? No matter what, whatever you got going in your lives, okay, don't sit down and let it pass you by. Go for it because it's like, take it from Mr. Mike Wagner, or my good buddy here. Everything that he's done, he's fought his way through and he's made such a great show. And I'm very grateful to be a part of it, as many of you have been a part of it. And also, I will say too, with everything that I have gone in my life from day one to my 50th birthday, I have never given up. As many times I said, oh, I can't do it. But you know what? You can do it. So take it from me. Don't put yourself down, bring yourself up, and keep going forward.
And of course, y'all talked about America's Got Talent as well too. You're going
Absolutely.
for a
And we're going
second
to talk
time. So
about that.
what's that?
Now, and we're going to talk about America's Got Talent. You ready to do that now?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. But first, let's take a time out. You listen to the Mike, yeah, you listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms, and also take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and check our gift section as well too. And we'll be back with the multi-talented Micky Gallina on his 50th birthday with America's Got Talent after this timeout. We're back with the amazing Micky Gallina, and for third time around here on the Mike Wagner Show, and we talked about his amazing career, talking about Michael Nesmith, his releases, and also America's Got Talent. That's a big one you really want to talk about also.
Well, to project that, Mike, we've been together twice together on your show,
Yes,
and
that's
you
right.
once on mine. And actually, the anniversary is coming up December 29th.
How do you like that?
Mike had joined me on a Speak Up with Mickey G podcast show that I had done and WE Lounge podcast show, which was a combination of that. And then somehow I kind of split myself from WSE and started creating my own label
Mm-hmm.
because when it was dealing with WSE, they're a good podcast and I give a big shout out to them. But I had guests that would talk and I couldn't bleep them out. Celebrities sometimes like to say what they want to say, and
Hmm.
I figured, go with the flow. You're speaking up with Mickey G, and I just let it go. I let it rip. I was like, in one way, there was times when I heard certain things that certain guests would say. Um, I can drop this guest as known as Mr. Oliver,
Hmm.
but I can't give you his full name. But you might know who he is when I give you another drop.
Okay.
But I don't want to. I mean, let's just put it this way. I like him. He's kind of, well, we're not going to go there. God bless him. Let him go.
That's all I can do at this point. That's all I can do.
Because yeah, I know, and I don't want to build up an anger build up for this gentleman. But as far as I'm concerned, I wish him well. I'm going to leave it
Hmm.
at that.
Right.
To go into the next step of our interview, and thank you for having me on again, Mike.
America's
Actually,
Got Talent. Let me remind you that.
okay, we're speaking about America's Got Talent. Okay, yes. When I did my first audition, God, was I ripped. I was ripped apart by some people that would write and say, I've had people throw at me, and you know what? And being as a new artist, it's going to happen, or even being an artist, as long as I have been an artist, and I also do write my own music. A lot of people don't seem to real, some people know, and some people like, wow, you write your, like, I got a message on Instagram. You write
Hmm.
your own songs? I said, yeah, I do.
Of
I said,
course.
yeah. I'm like, well, how would I make it if I didn't? I mean, like, I don't have the best songwriters that the Monkees did, but then again, they also wrote their own stuff and they did play their own music.
Hmm.
That was true.
Especially Neil Diamond. If you can get Neil Diamond to write the songs, it's like that shows a lot of credibility.
Oh, I will. I mean, honestly, I mean, Don Kirshner had the golden ear, but then again, Michael Nesmith once said, when he got a little annoyed with this $1 million check that they were all getting, and it was like some confrontation going on, and Nez just put his hand to the wall and said, "That could have been your face, Don." And but the thing is that Don was a little too big for his britches, but he did have the golden ear. He did know his stuff. And granted, he was telling Michael Nesmith country rock was not going to make it. Well, he was wrong about that. Nesmith was right about that.
And took a
So,
lot of persistence too, so.
right. And kudos, I applaud to Michael Nesmith because he knew what he was saying. Don did not on that point.
Hmm.
But
Okay. Anyway, go on with America's Got Talent.
okay, America's Got Talent. Okay, when I did the first audition, it was, there's a lot of great entertainment. Okay, I mean, we're talking like magic, we're talking cards, we're talking so many different things. If you've seen the show, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because just coming on, grabbing a guitar, you know, just grabbing a guitar like this, and playing the songs, it's good, but you got to have a wow factor. And I'll tell you what I mean, because if you don't wow the crowd or the judges, they're going to be like, thanks for coming.
Eh.
That's the end. So you got to have something with edge, excitement. And it's something that's got to come out of your voice. It's got to come out of your heart. It's like when I went in and I did Knocking on Heaven's Door as my first audition piece back on January 27th, 2017. I'll never forget, I walked into the room. I was sitting around with 30 other people and came out and I did my thing. And they said, very good. And I'm like, okay. Then I heard some little girl about the age of 5 that tore it up with Over the Rainbow,
Wow.
with The Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow, Judy Garland. And it was phenomenal. And she looked at me and I looked at her and I looked at her mom and she looked back at me and she goes, I think we got it. And I said, yeah, I like to say that we think we got it too. I said, but don't be disappointed if we don't. I
Hmm.
said, because the thing is that you've seen how TV can be. It can take the most silliest, ridiculous acts ever. Not the people are, I don't want to knock the people, but their acts can be so ridiculous and silly that it might just be great for television just to watch that. And these are the kind of people they want to see in a sense, but then also too, then they got the other side where they got the factor of the great talents like the magic, the music, the powerhouses that they cut down in their top 24 to the top 12 and top two and top one, whatever. But that's what they do. And so it's like when you think about it, you got to just give it the best you can. So anyway, I have an audition with them and it's a virtual video where I have to send it in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so what I'm doing is one of my originals, and the name of the song that I'm doing is going to be called Fade Away. And it's
Oh
the
yes, that's right. That'll be coming up. And tell us more about that song, Fade Away.
okay. When I wrote the song Fade Away, I was accompanied in the studio and via email with Mark Dawson, who I switched from uh, bass to mandolin. And then I brought in the Monkees bass player, Mr. John Billings, who's also a good friend of mine. And he's also got a great restaurant in Tennessee
Hmm.
called Wine Down. You have to look
Huh.
it up. Yeah, but it's a great place if you're ever in Tennessee. Definitely, if you don't mind, a little plug for them.
Okay.
Um, good friends and too, and good food and good place. Matter of fact, Micky Dolenz has been there. Michael Nesmith was there just only a few months ago.
Huh.
I
That's
saw,
interesting.
yeah, I saw some of the feeds through Coco, Mickey's sister, had some video footage of it, of them sitting there and enjoying the place. So in reference to with America's Got Talent and stuff, uh, you got to have a wow factor. And I mean, you could be see when I went in there, and I know it busted me up that I didn't get through, but I accepted it, because it's like I knew that writing and producing music eventually it was going to catch on. Now, during this pandemic that we've been going through from the end of 2019 to 2020 and now, if you really look at my songs, like I'll give you earlier titles, Will You Miss Me When I'm Gone, Tears of the Broken Hearted. Okay, well, Will You Miss Me When I'm Gone? Well, that's a question for everybody, because will you be here tomorrow? Will you be gone tomorrow? Tears of the Broken Hearted. Well, that's about anything. It could be breakups with relationships. It could be the loss of somebody that you loved, a family member, a brother, a sister, whatever, a friend. And so when you think about it, there's survival songs that I've written because I've lived through it, as I'm sure all of you have lived through it as well. And I feel that in a lot of ways, when these songs can get the attention, now I wanted it to be so much to be noticed, but I was suffering from a broken shoulder. I still have a broken shoulder, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm more movable now because from the medicines and being able to work out and get my body back. Yeah, it's still broken, but I can still move. It's amazing because with old injuries and new recurring injuries, you can still sort of move your arm, depending
Mm-hmm.
on what the elements are and how high
Right.
the pain is. So I was very blessed to given a chance to where I can really keep going. And I wish in more ways than one that I could have gotten something going at that time and place. But now with the new pandemic, what do they call it? Okran or something like that?
Oh, Omicron. That's the name.
Omicron,
Omicron.
yeah. Yeah, with another thing and all that. Um, and it's deadly, and you got to be very careful. So when I think about all of that, my music and other people's music is really the best time right now because these songs you listen to are going to be very healing, and this is what we all need right now is a really great healing. And I hope when you do buy the album and it drops in 2022 that you will find it as a rewarding healing essence that takes away that pain of mental anguish that you have been suffering through this pandemic and maybe early years of whatever else you were going through in your lives.
Okay.
So I
Uh,
wanted to thank you and share that, and that it'll be dropping in the spring of 2022.
That
And
sounds
America's Got
that sounds
Talent,
amazing. And also with a second audition of America's Got Talent. Let's
yes,
talk more
that's
about that.
happening on
Yes.
January the 15th. On I picked that date, and a lot of people had asked me, why did I pick that day? Well, because I think of Martin Luther King when he says, "I had a dream,"
Yes,
and
that's right.
January
I have
15th
a
is his name.
dream. That's right.
I had a dream, right?
Hmm. You got
And
that
it was,
right. And once again, Mickey, where can we find all your music at?
well, you can find me on YouTube. You could find me on a personal Facebook page. I'm in the works of building a website. I was addressed by a friend of mine about where I could go to create one. I never really took uh, much to do, but I also am on TikTok, by the way. I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. So those are the formats right now. There'll be some more to come, still in the process, because as John Lennon says, life gets busy when you're making other plans.
Hmm.
And believe me, I have tried to get on this track, and I'm finally getting there now. But you never know when life could be making another plan. But I am going to guarantee that 2022, it's going to happen.
And speaking
And
of and speaking of 2022, what else can we expect from you? Like,
well,
not just early 2022, but later on.
you know what? I'm in the process of putting a show together. That's another thing I want to mention. The conversation is going to be starting on this. We're going to be talking on December 21st. Me and the manager of a place called The Bridge. Now, if anyone knew about me and The Bridge here in Tarpon Springs, I was a Michael Jackson tribute artist and many other artists I used to do before and after I was writing my own material. So I've been welcomed to come, and we're starting a set for me to come where I'm going to be probably more so playing after the new year because it's my first Christmas and first New Year's. And I don't want to take that away from my girlfriend and my dog because so this is my time off to relax and to enjoy my 50th birthday. Anybody want to know where I'm going for my birthday? I'm going to the Hard Rock.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play at the Hard Rock and have a nice dinner, and it'll be a really good time. And I'll probably be behind. I can't tell you what number curtain I'll be behind because that's a moment of my own time, so you can't find me that.
Yes,
But ser-
exactly.
but seriously speaking, yeah, it's gonna be a little downtime that I need to have, with my girl and myself, and my dog will have all of our attention during the day. It'll be nice. We got our Christmas tree up. You might have seen some decorations that I did last night. I did a little video of me doing where I'm behind Mrs. Santa Claus, and I go, "Hello, this is Mrs. Santa Claus, and right next to Miss Santa Claus, right next door to me." I sound almost like Mrs. Doubtfire and Julia Childs
Oh,
mixed.
yes, that's right. Lovely combination.
Or or a little bit of tiny tip, tiptoe through the
Ooh,
tulips.
tulips. Tiny Tim, yes.
You
Oh my
know, so
goodness.
I have good impressions for those. Or it's like when I took a picture next to this Minnie Mouse, somebody thought it was a toy, and I said, "No, it's not a toy. It's actually a decoration." So I went like this, and I did a little voiceover, and I did like this. "Hi, this is Mickey, and my girlfriend is Jean. And since we can't go together, she introduced me to Diane, and here we are."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have a lot going on, Mickey. I'd love to have you back in
Yeah, so
2022 and give
with
us an
America's
update.
Got Talent, the album dropping, and some shows coming up. And I'm going to be doing more Facebook Live too. Definitely get some video footage on the shows for people who can't make it out to Florida. Although this is the best place to be in December. It's really warm out here.
Sounds good. We will do so. I have you back. And once again, Micky Gallina with an update with a brand new CD, new material, and updates on the Mike Wagner Show. Mickey, always a pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank
You're
you,
always
Mike.
amazing. And by the
Appreciate it.
way, Merry Christmas and happy birthday. And we will chat
Thank
again
you.
soon. You've been amazing.
Merry Christmas to you, and also happy anniversary of our show when you were on mine on December 29th coming up. And definitely when I get my podcast up and running, got to get you, and we got to reverse it around, and I'd love to bring you on, and we'll be doing some stuff like that in the future. And I'll be bringing some of that as well, because my inspiration is Mr. Mike Wagner. I mean, he's really inspired me, and I want to tell you, keep watching the show, keep checking out, check out all our local artists, and check me out. We'll see you in 2022. Thank you.